At the request of the governor for a special session on how oil companies flourished while frustrated families struggled to pay spiking gas prices over the summer. As discussions begin in the Assembly and the Senate, Fox 40's political analyst Ed Emerson, a Democratic strategist, and Tim Rosales, strategist for the GOP, join me now live to discuss what this session may accomplish and a few other things on the political landscape. Gentlemen, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
So a fine or penalty for oil companies to pay has been suggested by the governor as a way to hold them accountable for what has really felt like price gouging during an inflationary summer when families were confronting soaring prices for absolutely everything. Republican lawmakers have questioned how that would be levied and how any monies recouped would be returned to Californians. Tim, is there a problem with even going after oil companies like this?
Well, I think, the problem is that it's like those Christmas pictures you take with little kids at JCPenney's, where, the photographer holds up this little, elf to get them to pay attention to this so they can take your picture. That's what the governor's doing right now with oil prices. The fact is that California oil prices are inordinately high. We've got some of the highest in the nation because of our taxes, because of the very taxes that Governor Newsom and this Democratic controlled legislature has imposed. We pay 54 cents for excise tax. 18 cents is that on top of that is federal, so not from California, but the rest, 23 cents for carbon fuels tax. We've got another 18 cents for a carbon battery program. There are an inordinate number of taxes here. And further, we know that in the early part of fall, when oil prices began to decline, and gas prices were still up in California. Why? Because of the taxes.
Okay.
And so this really isn't a problem necessarily on the companies, although companies need to be held accountable, certainly. But the problem really is with Governor Newsom and the Democratic-controlled legislature.
Okay, Ed, Tim seems to be saying this is a creature of California's own making, a monster that we're now trying to blame. Do you agree?
I disagree, as a matter of fact. No surprise. I really, there are 7 oil companies, 8 oil companies that made record profits this year during the alleged shortage. 50 straight weeks of declining gas prices, and you have ExxonMobil and Phillips 66. Phillips had 1,200% higher profits. They gutted us. All these companies are gutting us, major profit. And they're not putting it back into development. They're putting it back into the shareholders' pockets. They're buying stock back from shareholders. This is not a company that is fighting for the right thing. This is a company that's fighting for dinosaurs from 10,000 years ago, for Christ's sakes. You can't look at this and look at these egregious profits and not think something has to be done to rein them in. And they didn't even show up. They didn't even come in to try to take the time to explain it. They boycotted the hearing, and that's where we are. I think the legislative session controlled by Democrats here in California is going to do the right thing and going to get to the bottom of why these guys don't ever seem to go out of business.
Okay.
Right? I mean, we're getting killed by these oil companies.
Okay, what does making a move like this, calling for this special session to hold oil companies accountable, do for Governor Newsom maybe on the national stage? Now, he said very clearly, very recently, that he's not going to be running for president. But does this make him look too radical in others' eyes to be a trusted voice on other issues? And do we believe that a White House run is really not in the offing, Ed?
Well, again, I think if the field was clear, I think he should run. I think he'd be a great candidate for president. I think I've spent 12 presidential campaigns ruining my health and other parts of my life. He's a good candidate for something like this. Joe Biden is currently president of the United States, and I think Gavin's made it clear. Anything that he does now, Governor Newsom, anything that he does is going to look like it's calculated based on some presidential run. And I think you can't be more succinct is I'm not running if Joe Biden runs, or other circumstances I might run. But right now it's a no. So
Okay.
I think he's in great shape to do something like that. But at the same time, he's not running this time.
Okay, Tim. So With this move, with the special session going after oil companies, people already think California's policies are way out there. Are you believing that it's going to hold, that Governor Newsom isn't going to make a run?
The governor makes political calculations about whether or not to wear boxers or briefs. Everything that this governor does is a political calculation. I think it's absolutely in the realm of possibility. The big question he's going to have to explain is, okay, you go ahead and go after oil companies in California. Well, still, why are prices lower when you go just across the border to Nevada? Why are prices lower when you go to Arizona? Why are gas prices lower when you go to Texas? Why are gas prices, you pay almost half or about half or maybe even a third of what you pay in California for gas? Oil companies are international and they're charging the same everywhere they go. Why is California such an anomaly? And you have to go back to its Governor Newsom's policies. But on the national stage with Democratic primary voters, that may be something that attack on corporations and business, which Democrats don't like business and corporations. I don't particularly necessarily like them either, as long as they're doing the right thing. But he's going to go after business and corporations, and that puts him in a good light with Democratic primary voters, particularly if President Biden doesn't run for president, which I think in terms of everything that we're seeing on television and with the president's diminished capacities, I really hope that he doesn't.
Okay, we are almost out of time. Just quickly, I have to ask you about the Senate runoff in Georgia. Democrats already kind of in control of the Senate, so maybe this is not mattering as much. So what's your feeling, Tim, very quickly, Walker or Warnock?
Two flawed candidates, flip a coin.
Oh, okay. All righty. That's a go. Flip a coin. My goodness. Okay, Ed, do you have something more definitive? Do you think you know how this is going to come out?
Raphael Warnock has been a great senator for his first 2 years there. Herschel Walker is a failure, both personally, economically, and intellectually. He is someone that does not belong in the United States Senate. And this is more just BS by the Republican Party, putting up a clown to run against a decent man. Also, Joe Biden's going to kick whoever's rear end comes along in his diminished capacity. We will take on, and we beat Trump once. Bring him on again. I'd love to whoop that guy one more time.
All righty. We'll have to put a pin in it right there. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.